So a comminuted fracture is when you have not one crack in the middle of the bone, which you can sort of put it back together and you're all set. But imagine a branch that you break multiple times. So you can't just paste them together and hope it works. There's no structural stability. So oftentimes you have to use plates or an internal fixation, which is basically like a shish kebab, a rod in the middle of the bone to hold the pieces together. And then with some pins, you can get some stability so the bone begins to heal to itself.
Dr. Oz, Tiger Woods, 45 years old. He's obviously has some back injury, back stuff and knee stuff. What are the chances that he can come back from an injury such as this?
Well, Alex Smith had very similar injuries and was able to come back and play in the NFL, taking direct hits, which is, I'm hoping, Tiger Woods' recovery will at least allow him to determine if anyone hits him. So there are some benefits as a golfer that I think he has, but let's be clear about this. He's had a bunch of surgeries and bounced back when no one thought he could. He had the luck of having his accident near a major trauma center with expertise in this area. I know, teams that were trained there. So, I have great confidence in the fact that they managed this correctly, despite the complicating factors of a comminuted fracture, which means broken in multiple spots, and open fracture, which means there was a cut in the skin that either the bone protruded through or was close, and the fact that it probably crossed the joint to infect his ankles, so his ability to flex might be altered. He still has the most important component of recovery, which is mental resilience. This man can do what no one else can do. So with the strength of his mind and fortitude, I do think he'll be back, and I think he'll come back to full speed. Medically speaking, I think it's at least 6 months until his bone is recovered to the original form, but then the muscles will have atrophied around it. They had to open up in order to prevent pressure from killing the leg. There's fascia, so that's got to heal. These are open wounds that are going to take a while and will lead to atrophy, but he'll build them back. So give him a year, allow him to recover from the emotional, physical trauma of this procedure. And I'll bet on Tiger Woods every time.
Wow, that's incredible, Dr. Oz, because I was certain, obviously knowing nothing about this injury, but I was certain you were going to say that was it for him. But that's very hopeful that you think medically that this can be done.
I mean, frankly, with Tiger Woods, if you put him with a peg leg, he'd probably still be a champion. But I think the ability of modern medicine and the marvels that I'm witnessing day in and day out, especially in orthopedic surgery and getting the right care initially, all critical. And thank goodness he didn't have major internal injuries or even head injuries, which speaks to the power of a seatbelt. So as lucky man, right time, right place in some ways. And I do believe he'll make a full recovery.